Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're looking live at the Calamity Jones Hour. I'm Mandy Jones, and this is my husband,
Glen. Good to see y'all.
Oh my God, he's really here. I always say he's here in spirit, because Glen always is here in spirit, but he's always working or, tending to a fire or doing something. So I'm really happy that you're here, babe.
Yeah, no, it's the last episode of the year.
Yeah, the last episode of the year. We have a really special guest that we're going to bring on in a moment. This is the 19th episode of the show. If you can remember to share the show, please share the show. I will in a second. Okay. Please share the show. If you love me, if you love us, we laugh at all tonight, you should subscribe to YouTube Mandy Jones the Comedian. That's free. You could also find Mandy Jones the Comedian on Spotify, Apple Music. A lot of people like the podcast to just listen to it and not do the visual aspect. So there's those platforms as well. Oh, as well as Stitcher and Overcast. So if you're one of the youngsters, we're there as well.
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know those last two. I really don't, but we got to get with the times. I got to get out because on my shit's on those platforms. So we're there if you are. Yeah, so happy to have you, Glen. We do have a guest in the audience.
Guest
in the studio. I always say studio audience because we're live. I feel like, I don't know.
Oh, we gotta...
I feel like it's a studio audience.
Yeah.
We're the three people at the table are each other's audience. But anyways, it's 8:02 on December 18th. It is the 19th episode of the Calamity Jones Hour. And without further ado, I'm going to bring on a very, very, very funny, very handsome stand-up comedian, my friend, and now yours, Mr. Devin Giannini. Woo! G just took the table with him.
I took the mic with
G, all right.
Yeah. Baby, are you still connected?
No,
Okay.
I broke the mic.
You didn't break the mic. He literally broke the mic. Okay, cool. That's why we have him here, always. Okay, so Devin, back to you, my guest, my favorite guest.
When you said studio audience, I was like, am I supposed to do like
you're supposed to laugh, you're supposed to cry, you gotta applaud.
I thought I had to do the stuff where like maybe you and G have there's some chemistry going on. You're gonna go, ooh.
I'm going to be holding up signs on the back of this piece of paper here with my notes, and you can applaud.
I gotta act like an audience on Family Matters. So I'm like, oh my God, Laura and Steven going together.
So you want to just get real close to me, babe?
I might have to, but you guys keep talking.
We're going to keep talking. We're going to see if Glen can troubleshoot this. Pull another mic out his butt. At the moment, it's just Devin on the screen because over here is quite the chaos.
Yeah. By the way, guys, you don't know this. The setup here is fantastic.
Aw, thank you for saying that.
This is a promising just studio style setup right here. I felt like I was a little fancy.
You know, it's funny because I got into comedy 3 years ago. You're a little tyke. You're much younger than me, but you are so much more experienced. No, he isn't.
No,
are you kidding?
No,
shut up.
Andy that's before,
you're not even mic'd up. What do you, Graz? Fucking the voice from the great beyond that no one knows who's fucking on talking ever. That would always be my beef with Graz. He would host a show, but he wouldn't want to be on the mic that was on camera. Okay, so babe, you want me to be on camera now?
Yeah, you can put us on camera.
Oh my lord. Oh my lord.
Have this hooked on here? Okay.
You bought all this stuff and showed me how to use it.
All right.
Oh my lord.
I think
you guys got a snowman.
We got a snowman microphone.
Snowman mic.
That's what's going on.
Just a snow mic. I hope everybody can hear us good.
Oh my lord. Me and Bonnie have done stuff like this before where you got to cuddle up. Bonnie and I, speaking of which, Bonnie is my comedy work wife. Her and I do a podcast called The Wildflowers every Wednesday from 7:30 to 8:30. She's the reason I got into podcasting and all this crazy stuff.
I love the pod with both of you. That's great. I love that pod.
Oh yeah,
I actually didn't listen to it lately.
Oh good. Everybody being quarantined, it was really good for us because a lot of people were stuck home. And it gave us something to look forward to. I mean, you were just saying you want to start your own podcast. I would listen to it. You're fucking funny, dude.
What? Me? Come
Yeah,
on.
if I
Fish
let you get a word
What?
in,
What?
I'm gonna let you get a word in. You're hilarious. Well, first of all, I always start with it's all about me. We met the first night I ever did comedy. You were in
Yes.
you were actually in the audience.
That was my favorite thing about that because I was like, oh, I kept wondering, I'm like, oh, fuck, there's an audience in this terrible open mic for, I don't want to say terrible, but it's a terrible open mic. And
Well, yeah, these are strangers that never heard my jokes before. You know, you're always interested when you go to an open mic and you see a person that hasn't heard your stuff. But you have such just stage presence. You have such a good stage presence that when I started going to that mic on a weekly basis, and you would just come in and bullshit about dates you've been on or whatever was going on in your life, and it's just, you're hilarious. You just have your comedic voice so sculpted.
Shit, can I put this on my Hinge profile? You complimented me the whole time.
Well, that's how I warm you up. That's how we
Yeah.
warm you up, and then we start asking some hard hitting questions.
They're like, so Devin, do you love your mom? I'm like, what? Whoa! I like the compliments before.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, no. Okay, so who's your favorite sibling?
Jonathan.
And why is that?
He's funner.
Okay, and where is Jonathan in the lineup?
Oh, he's first.
Okay, so wait,
Well,
you're one of 5 or you're one of 4?
I'm one of 4.
Okay, me too. Okay, one of
Yeah.
4, and Jonathan's the oldest. And why does he take the cake?
Well, first of all, I hope the other 2 hear this. Everyone's like,
tell him I said that.
No,
yes,
I want them
Jonathan. By the way, send the message to the others.
This is before Christmas. My gifts are gonna be shit this year.
Oh yeah, my mom used to always say Santa can take stuff off the sleigh. She would say it up until New Year.
Christmas. My mom would say it on January 1st. She'd be like, presents can go away for next year's
Christmas Eve. She'd be like, the elves can take stuff off that sleigh.
Listen, I still love the other 2, but if we're just saying who I want to hang out with more, the Jonathan's a fun one. My brother Jonathan, he's a fun dude.
So he's always been supportive, or he's always just been a good character for material?
1, supportive, and 2, he is a good part of my act, which is why I won't tell them that this show is happening today.
Yeah, just keep doing you, brother.
This compliments him, and also I can't let him know that he's in my act. He does not know, but he is a big part of it.
Well, yeah, I know. My family, they love it. They secretly love it, being part of the show. I mean, I know you joke about your dad, who I'm so sorry you lost your dad this year recently, which is some heavy shit. Because you and I are not just friends at a table, like pretending right now. Like when the cameras go off, you and I are really friends. And
the first thing you said when I walked through the door was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I was like, I was so sorry about your dad, and I was like, I appreciated the care and everything.
There's nothing that you can say, because I just think, oh my God, because my dad is so much of my act. Like your dad is so much of your act. Like your dad is just naturally such a character.
Oh yeah.
That you didn't have to make this shit up.
Oh yeah, I just lost 15 minutes.
No, but you still, he never, you know what I mean? It never ends, and it lives on, and he's fucking up there. Love transcends, and even if you're a fucking atheist and Santa's not going to bring you gifts this year, and you don't believe in Jesus or whatever the fuck you
believe in Santa Claus. What are you talking about? This is nothing to do with Jesus.
No, if anybody doesn't believe or doesn't believe in whatever.
I love there's someone like, I don't believe in God. Santa though.
No, but I know for sure that dead people are alive in our hearts, and we keep their stories alive. And just by I never met your dad, but hearing jokes about your dad, I feel like I knew your dad.
Yeah, he was my dad. Like the one thing that I kept getting from people at the funeral was like, "Hey, your dad." Yeah, I partied with him. He's a fun guy.
Yeah, I remember laughing. That's a great feeling to like. If people can remember nothing else but laughing with me, I'll fucking take it, man.
I think the laugh at the funeral is always like the best thing. Like if you could get like a little chuckle, or like like every time, it's always what people remember at the funeral is because that like glimmer of like the loving the person. You know what I mean? Like
the funeral was It was crazy. It was weird and crazy because it was like one. At points, it did feel like a funeral. Everyone's sad. Everyone's coming up and crying and telling you like, "Ah, oh, your dad was such a great man. It was such a big part of my life and everything." And that's cool. And then my family's a bunch of wild partying Italians. Okay. So like they had like a jukebox machine next to like my dad's casket.
Yeah, we all have off. Oh, he would want us.
In the same room?
Yeah, yeah. They might as well. They were this close. I'm gonna be honest. They were this close to putting it on top of the casket. They didn't care. They were about to put it right there.
Yeah, seriously, we rented this room out.
I had little cousins. They were doing TikTok dances in the corner.
No, that's the way, dude.
I saw one cousin do like a Snapchat next to it. They're like, "What's up?" They were like, "I'm so sad."
Oh my god, one of the best documentaries. The Wonderful World of the Whites. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking hilarious. But it's this white trash family. But they've got so much fucking love in their hearts. And fucking the one lady, she's like, "Fuck, I hope you're doing beers. I hope you're doing lines off my head when I die." Like, it's like, but she's like, seriously, like fucking party on, like. I really don't fucking, because that's what I know. When I die, I want you guys to all fucking live on and be like, Mandy wouldn't want us to be fucking crying and dragging our asses around. About,
we want either me or Mandy, whichever one goes first, for weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah, like at my discretion, at Glen's discretion, you could like, you could like take selfies with my body.
I have my one cousin. My one cousin, he's a little different. He's a little out there. He lifted the hand up and did a high five. I'm like, what?
But some people kiss the body. That's like a old tradition. That's weird.
Well,
some people like
it's dead. It's part of touching it. It's like,
I don't know. Kissing
it's part of the process.
I touch the hand of the person. Yeah. Like I always say bye and touch the hand.
I had a couple of my dad's exes. They came to the funeral, and that was my favorite part. They were coming up to the casket and they're just like. Doing a kiss on the head. And then I'm seeing some of them now. I'm like, are you making out with my dad right now?
Do you have your tongue down my dad's throat, you fucking necrophiliac?
And they're like, and then they come up to me like, I'm so sorry for your loss. I used to be really close with your dad.
If you ever want to talk about things.
Well, they were just like,
you remind me of your dad a lot.
They would just walk up to me like, you kind of look like your dad. You remind me of him when he was young. Anyway, if you need anything, just like call me anytime, late night, whatever. Like, I don't know.
I'll pay you to shovel my driveway. Oh, that's so hilarious. Yeah, no, but your family is such a big part of your act. And that's how I feel like. I feel like I just was born with like material. Like you don't have to make the shit up. I think life is funny enough. And you are so natural. Like I was saying to Shawnee before you got here, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen the kid do the same act twice. I don't think I've ever seen you even do the same joke twice. Like every time you're on stage, you are talking about different stuff, and you're just hilarious.
Distinctively new and funny each time, Mike. I do have to say that. I've seen you a bunch of times, like a bunch of open mics. Like
I think
always bringing new material.
Honestly, I think that was just us. The place you started at was Shakers, right?
Yeah.
So you started at Shakers Pub, Oakdale, New York, and
Oakdale, New York. What?
And basically, to me, I treated Shakers because I lived down the road from it at one point for a couple of years or whatever.
Yeah.
Evan would do that mic. Evan Weiss would do that mic every week. And I just felt bad not going to it as much as I did. So I'm like, well, I had no excuse. I lived down the road from it. I'd walk to it in the winter, in the summer. I'd walk to it.
It's like signing up for a class and then getting into like being friends with the club and then being like, oh wait, you're like letting people down.
Well, the worst part is Evan knows I live right next to there, so
Evan's like, I'll pick you up. Like I'll buy you pizza.
He's like, hey, young man, I'll get you some pizza. I'll get you garlic knots, whatever.
Yeah, and you're like, God damn it, I am hungry.
Now I'm just kind of obligated to go here. All right, he knows my schedule, so I'd go there every week, and because there was just like it was a lot of comics most of the time, and then sometimes weird random people coming in from the bar
that we would subtly be performing for. Like you probably, like you said, when we strolled in, you were like, wow, these are people that I could actually entertain.
Well, then we had Devin and Lisa with us. We actually had.
I had two friends that came to support me. So I had
remember
Glen.
that was the funniest part was we had the three people that were like
you guys
not
were like,
comics.
Wow,
and all the comics
4
were like,
people.
Yes,
that's half a bringer.
That's all. Yeah, like
you don't even know the relief that came over us when you brought those friends. We were just like, oh, okay, so I get to do a little like me and
Zach,
like writing notes like furiously, game time, guys.
Me, Zach Zorovich, and like Andy Blajanos in a corner, just like, all right, okay, so we got some material we can actually work in front of humans tonight, not just
guys.
us.
This is it. This is not a drill.
And we went up, and I remember I was dressed, I don't know, was I dressed extra hipster that night or something? I had a black tank top, I had like a black top on with a knit cap and everything. That was like my Tinder profile for a little bit, was that picture, because I was like, there's people in the crowd.
Girls, take a different shirt out of your backpack. Like
I was like, I zoomed, whenever I had the Tinder picture, I'm like, zoom in to show that there's people, and down in front of them.
Laughing. Speaking humans.
And they laughed at a couple of jokes. I was like, all right, and we're gonna zoom in on that part where they're having a good time. And that's gonna be
throwing their heads back and laughing.
That's the first pic on the profile for a few years. That was a couple of years.
That was really good times though. We did those mics every week. They were so close to our house, those ones.
Dude, I mean, Evan just posted fucking this week that he lost his mother, and I fucking called him and started crying. I mean, these people became my family doing comedy. Like, it's like I said, when the show's over, when we shut this shit down, we're still all hanging out. And, you know, this is not like an act. We actually might tone it down a little bit for you guys. You guys might not be able to handle all of the truth.
This is how weirdly close I am with Evan, where I always forget. I'm like, is Evan kind of my best friend? Like, there's times I gotta ask myself, I'm like, oh fuck, I think Evan might be my best friend.
Well,
and then I go, oh god, is he my best friend? Oh no.
And Esther.
Evan will always show up.
Well, when Esther went to visit him in the hospital, she's like, "Is there anything I could do for you?" You know, because we're friends. Yeah. We're family, guys. We stick together. The real people, we stick together. And he's like, "You could bring 6 people to my next show." She's like, "You're on your fucking deathbed, and you're producing." He was getting like he needed surgery, but he's fine. But she's like, "Is there anything I could do for you?" You know. Bring you something.
The day my dad passed, I was like thinking, I don't know why, like, I guess because I saw my mom, like, messaging, like, my aunts, her sisters.
Yeah.
And I guess my brother was messaging some of his friends too.
And
your
I was parents were together still? Or no?
They were separated for years. And then when my dad had a stroke, he had a mass stroke 5 years ago, so he's been paralyzed like half of his life for years.
Okay.
And my mom started taking care of him.
Okay.
And I started taking care of him too. But weirdly enough, like, they just got close over that time together. And next thing I know, like, it was almost like my mom was weirdly back together with my dad.
Yeah.
And she took care of him more than like anybody else. Like,
yeah.
But she did.
That's the father of her baby. You know, it's like.
And it was weirdly seeing that connection almost reform.
Yeah.
Like, thicker than it was when I was even a kid.
That's cool. Oh, yeah.
But I remember seeing her message people like, oh, Joe just passed and everything. And I saw my brother message people like, oh, my dad just passed. And I was like, I need someone to talk to, I guess. And I was just thinking of people in my head to talk to. And I'm like, like going through like a list of friends in my head that I'm like, which friend do I say, like, do I have the, hey man, my dad died speech, like,
right,
where I can just let it out. And I was like, Evan came up in my mind immediately.
Yep. Non-judgmental.
But then I had a few seconds where I'm like, let's go through our friends again, like, look through it. But no, I talked to him, and I knew he would immediately make a joke as soon as it happened.
Yeah.
And it was immediately a joke. Is like, because the recurring joke with Evan was, because he ran bringer shows, like, it's like, can you bring? Can you bring? Like, every time you talk to Evan, he's like, oh, that's so good. You had a good set tonight. Can you bring to my next show? And as soon as I mentioned my dad, he's like, oh, well, okay, instead of bringing 5 people, you can bring like 4 to the show. I feel bad. You can bring like 4. 4 people? I guess you can bring 4.
Oh, I love him. That's great.
And I was like, and we were laughing. He got me laughing like the day it happened.
And
I was like,
that's what you need. That's what you need. Your friends to remind you who you are. Like when shit's low, you know. Like
I made a joke the day it happened with his mom. Like it wasn't about his mom, but it was a joke I made, and we were both laughing. We both know each other so much that we're like, we both have the darkest sense of humor.
Right.
So we'll make the darkest, quickest joke as soon as something bad happens to each other to make each other laugh.
The situation.
Yeah,
it's
the best.
Well, it was we had to do the for the put up shut up stand up that we did the yo mama jokes at one point, and then they had us at the end roasting, me and Kristen Tinsley roasted each other, and I was like, oh, good thing I didn't have to do like, you know, roast battle with Bonnie. Like I'm like, oh, what am I gonna say? Like, your mom's so dead. Like like the yo mama joke, like start with just like just fucking so horrible. But I know she would laugh because there's that dark sense of it's life and death. It's part of life.
Yeah. Literally, I saw Zach Zorovich a week later, and Zach was talking about, maybe it was a couple weeks after. Zach was talking about he went on stage. It was on an open mic, and he was in front of me, and he's like, "Hey, Devin, like I know the last couple of years your dad was in a wheelchair. I just want to know, did they put the wheelchair in with the coffin, or like was there a wheel sticking out?"
Oh, man.
And I was like, Zach.
Zach, I gotta give it to you. That is a good joke.
I was like, Zorovich, I'm gonna be honest. That casket was heavier because of that. You know, we didn't account for the weight.
Oh man, that's great. That's hilarious. Just real quick, Greg DeFlippo saying hi. Robin DeVito shared the show saying hey.
Hi, Robin.
Hey. I can't scroll. Yes, I can. Oh, Bruno saying hey. Oh, guys, real quick. Go on my page after this. $25 donation to the Forgotten Angels, but it's not a donation. It is a donation. It's the $25 goes to the donation, but it is a raffle for a custom built motorcycle. It's an antique fucking sick custom bike.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And there's like 3 other prizes
that
too,
are sick prizes. There's 4 prizes. It's Weems Motor Co. Jared Weems, a very loyal supporter, Nancy Weems of ours, his mama.
Oh, look at Nancy Weems just came in.
Hey, Nancy, I was literally, what did you just hear me talking about you, Nancy? What are your ears ringing? I was literally just talking about the raffle, the bike. The Forgotten Angels, if you don't know what that is, it's all for kids. They're in Florida right now. Their goal is to have a chapter in every fucking state in the U.S., but it's for kids who age out of foster care, because once you age out of foster care, a lot of people, when they start getting the check, these kids don't have a home anymore, and you don't have a credit score, and you don't get
placed in a homeless shelter right away,
and some of or you don't want to go to juvie, and it's just like a bad situation. So what they do is they set up these kids in tiny homes, so they have their own little space to live, and they all they either learn to build motorcycles, or they all learn crafts, and they start finding their little place in this world.
And do
so
they
it's the Forgotten Angels Fund.
Do they help build the houses?
I think
that's a really I'm a carpenter by trade. That's what I do.
Yeah, Nancy, we would love to. Honestly, when we were watching the episode last night, Glen was saying, he's like, I would love to go down to Florida and donate my time.
That was the first I heard about it. My only question
was... Well, it was not the first you heard about it, because I talk about the Forgotten Angels all the time. It was the first you put your mind to...
What was going on, I guess. But
first time you listened.
Yeah. But my only question is, you put tools in my hand, or do I got to ship my tools down there? Cause I'm down you can put me in for a week.
Put us in, and I'll do writing and comedy classes. I'm real good with grammar. I went to school for business and philosophy.
And Mandy can carry some
and I can carry. I do put in a good amount of elbow grease. I could actually work real well if you put me. You just give me a task, I'll fucking work.
If they need anyone to help them, show them how to do DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Yes,
Devin. Yes.
This brings us back to I had a random Devin Giannini sighting. Do you remember this? I came up on you not realizing it was you in Home Depot, and I was in a rush. And I'm walking up on you.
Oh shit.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Where's I don't even remember what it was. And then
this is when I used to work at Home Depot. Fuck, it's a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. And you kind of looked at me at first, and then I was like, oh shit, Devin. Like, I'm sorry, like, but do you know where this is? And like, you're like, I have no idea. I started working here like 2 weeks ago. Like, you're a carpenter. Like, you probably know better than I do. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like,
that is a description of my whole Home Depot career. Everyone asking me, do you know where this is? And me going, dude, I don't know.
I don't even know what that looks like.
You seem like someone who comes here a lot. I assume you might know. And I was wondering if you could help me with finding this for another person. I would ask customers like, hey, I can't help you find that. Could you help me find this other thing?
That roofer over there.
That this dude next to me has asked for. He's merely mad at me for not helping him find this.
Maybe you two can get together and figure out.
My favorite thing is when other no one realizes I'm Latino except for other Latinos. For some reason, they can sixth sense it about me. And so other Latinos will come up to me and they'll start speaking Spanish right away. And they don't realize that I'm super Americanized. I don't know any Spanish.
Well, Sean doesn't speak any. He's Puerto Rican and he doesn't speak any Spanish.
And that's the same deal here. So
they do the same thing.
I'm like, oh.
Yes.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Thank you, but no.
Sorry, I don't speak Spanish.
Lo siento,
it almost sounds worse. There's like white. There's like white,
Blanco.
like completely like pale people at my job that can totally help them. And meanwhile, I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. I'm doing all the wrong things. I'm saying louder to hope they understand the thing that they know I can't say. And I'm like, Spanish I don't speak, but maybe try aisle 12. Everything was always back to aisle 12. I don't know what it was, aisle 12.
Go over there, you might find something. Or maybe it'll be on the way over there.
There's a guy who works that aisle. He speaks Spanish. Talk to him. I don't know.
There's an OG over in aisle 12 that'll fucking help you.
There's an old white lady that somehow speaks better Spanish than me. Talk to her. She will help you. I'm a letdown.
People that work in kitchens and stuff. Like, I know some people that are like not who you'd think would speak Spanish, but all of a sudden they'll pull out like good Spanish. Like,
oh yeah, like I know.
There's a construction manager at my job that like I would not have. He loved speaking Spanish to Douglas, and Douglas is like, I grew up here. Like, I speak Spanish. Like, if you want to.
Yeah, but this isn't ninth grade, and I don't need to like be tested right now.
Like, not my mom or grandmother. Like I don't understand. I don't understand why you're talking to me in Spanish.
Why do I have to use proper fucking pronouns for you right now? Like presidential pronoun, right? Isn't it?
I feel like we all forget everything. Like everything that is a different language we were taught in high school. As soon as we graduate, we immediately forget it.
I had three separate different 8th grade Spanish teachers.
What were you guys doing to them?
They got fired and stuff. Like, they were crazy. They would just be like, "Oh, you speak Spanish? Like, all right, come in here."
And then they were like, "No, you need to speak Spanish and teach the kids Spanish.
And not have like mental illness. Like,
and not have a meltdown."
You had 3 different teachers for just one grade?
Yeah.
Oh, God, they were all fucking the kids, huh? Damn.
Oh, that's weird because like the one guy was definitely weird and they never said why he got like fired.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. He was raping.
No, I'll never forget. We were doing clothing. And so he had a box of clothes.
Oh, you've told me this.
I told you. God, and he's pulling out stuff, and we're like, all right, like jeans,
like pantalones.
Yeah, pantalones. Like, so he had like a little girl's bathing suit, and all the girls in the class were like, "You're a fucking weirdo, dude. Like, why do you have a little girl's bathing suit, regardless of if you're teaching a Spanish class?" Like, and he always would speak in Gaelic. He like thought it was very impressive that he had like a 3rd language to talk. And meanwhile,
he's got the least useful 3rd language to ever speak.
I know, Gaelic. Pick up a dead language.
And look, even Irish people in Ireland, they don't fucking speak Gaelic.
Yeah,
they're
seriously.
They're looking at that guy like he's coming up to them. If he ever visit Ireland, he's coming up to them trying to speak Gaelic, and then be like, "Oh, what the fuck you talking about, bro? Fucking speak English. What the fuck are you talking about?"
It's 2020. It's 2020, mate.
The other lady that got fired, the actual 2 Spanish teachers, we had like a sub at the end. The other lady that got fired was this she was nuts too. We found out she got fired from her last school for flipping off the like principal or something in front of all the students or something like that. Like some like big thing, but like she was like going through menopause or whatever. So she had all the windows open in the winter. It'd be like 30 degrees in her room. And she'd be like yelling at us about like nothing in English. At least the other guy spoke Spanish most of the time.
Or Gaelic. At least it was another language that he was yelling at us.
I feel like for some reason when everyone's like, oh my God, what is with all these teachers like having students on the news? And I'm like, no, they're not even reporting how big the numbers are. I feel like every year and a half when I was in high school, there was a teacher getting in trouble for either being in a relationship with one of the seniors or a junior or someone who graduated a year after or whatever. At the high school.
And then was MySpace.
Was like a couple. I was like, why is every fucking year I felt like there was always a teacher. I'm like, why is this teacher not here this year? And then I was like, oh, she fucked a student. And it was like, oh, next year the same thing. Like, he fucked a student.
I also feel like there was the like cool teachers that like everybody wanted to fuck one of the kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause we had a teacher, I'm not going to say his name, that like random people liked him. All students liked him. Pretty much everybody liked this guy.
Guys and girls wanted to fuck him.
Yeah, but like he's just a cool dude.
Even G was like, yeah, dude, this guy's got some good arms.
Yeah, seriously, he was fucking
This guy's got great personality.
But
if I were gay,
people would say like that he like hooked up with these random girls. And like, I definitely don't think he did.
Yeah, the girls were like in their dreams, maybe.
Yeah, but like, it's still pretty funny. And I caught him behind the woodshed with like 4 other teachers smoking weed, and that was something we never spoke about. Like, I turned around and walked away. Like.
They must have been sketched.
They were so sketched, but like
that's fucking
nothing.
ballsy.
This is the first time I've ever said anything, and I'll never.
Yeah, we're saying it live from public access.
Literally everyone I talk to who like we talk about high school, I feel like I've had more than a couple conversations like, oh yeah, there's this one teacher I had, he changed my life, really got me interested in reading. Anyway, yeah, he fucked a student. Like, every one of my friends are like, this teacher that really did good stuff for me. Fuck the student.
Yeah.
Because I had a couple of those teachers, but there was one teacher that I knew he really tried to relate to the kids because he was already like a 23-year-old dude, and he was like fit, and he had a study hall, and for some reason all the girls in study hall would be like up close to his desk, and he'd be playing like music, but not like music you can play even in school. It's like, oh, what is this, Biggie Smalls? Oh yeah, I listen to Biggie Smalls, whatever. I don't know. It's just like what I like to work out to. Just obvious things where I'm like, are you trying to hit on the students?
It's really weird. Yeah. It's really weird though, like, because that makes me think of, I had a study hall with a teacher that was like ultra young, and she played water polo, and she told us how the girls would like fucking finger each other in water polo as like an intimidation thing. And me and my boy were like freaked
she was
out.
Trying
We were
to
like, what
fuck
the fuck was going on here? Like, we didn't process this properly because, like,
baby,
and we were probably talking about something inappropriate. Like, we were wrestlers. Like, we were probably talking about like,
but she
grabbing nuts or something.
But she should
like,
not have been
oil
saying
checks
that.
And everything.
Oh yeah, skin checks. Like, people don't realize some of this. Like, you stood in line naked to get looked at by 3 old men to make sure you didn't have any fucking diseases on your skin. Like.
What? That was the thing that wrestlers had?
I want to beat this lady up.
Skin checks. What? No, like.
I'm still boiling about this lady.
But
he was a kid, you fucking pervert.
That's how much I like that. Mandy loves me so much that she's
I
like.
Want to kill
she's
Cass.
She's such an Irish jealous person that she's like, who's this bitch from when you were in 12th or 11th grade? I want to fuck her up right now.
I'll fucking. Water polo. You think you're a shaved bitch? Fucking catch me outside.
I'll stick a finger in your pussy.
Yeah, I'm fucking.
I love
oh my lord, I'll fuck you up. I'll show you fucking.
I'm sure you'd be like, the girl I had a first kiss with in 7th grade was this girl Shannon something, and meanwhile Mandy's in the corner like, I see that bitch Shannon somewhere. I'll fucking fuck her up. I don't care. I will throw hands on her.
On, like, Facebook and
no,
stuff. Andy like talked to my exes previously, like more recently than I have.
No, but Shawnee, right? Shawnee knows my brother from another mother who lives here. He fucking was like, he liked me, but he knew that we were like family when I got fucking gangster on a girl. We were like just dating, hanging out, and I had met Shawnee and we went to a party, and the girl like
we knew
girl. Like the people that were there, but she was like a mutual friend of like the owner or whatever, and she at one point like took Glen's phone and tried to be like cute, and I was like, give him his phone back, like, and she was no, she was like, oh, like what are you gonna do? I was like, seriously, like fucking, like, and I like just fucking changed the fucking script, like he was like, whoa, this little white bitch is like not fucking around, like she's like mean, actually, like really mean.
Yeah, that's how.
And the girl cowered and gave me the fucking phone back because I was like,
oh, it stopped. Like...
yeah.
Yeah,
I put an end to it.
I'm not like a super jealous guy when it comes to a relationship, but I feel like I've gotten some girls I'm like, oh, you're really jealous. Like, I feel like there's girls I've dated where I'm like, I've described a date I went on. Like, I described my first date ever to a girl that I had when I was 15, and she's like, oh, what's her name? I'm like, oh, it's Johnny. She's like,
and what was
fucking
her
bitch. Like,
what was your mother's name again?
Yeah, I've heard her. I described like a first date I went on in like whatever early grade years ago, and they're like, yeah, she sounds like a bitch.
Yeah, sounds like a fucking cunt. Sounds like a fucking
whatever
pretentious cunt.
Oh, who's this girl you're describing? Yeah, she sounds fat. Who's this fat girl you're describing? I don't know why I think she's fat in my head.
It develops in a relationship though, like as you get more years into it, you get less jealous of other people.
Oh well, yeah, no, Glen knows now. Like, I mean, you don't give a fuck.
Well, the guys are like, Mandy went to the funeral of her ex-boyfriend's
oh, by the way, I hope so she's not watching this yet.
So, like,
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the guys at work were like, isn't that weird? And I'm like, no, she loved the dude's
parents. Honestly,
like, I was done with the guy, but like, you don't divorce. It's just like you don't divorce kids. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Honestly,
like, you have a stepkid, it doesn't mean you're not going to see the kid anymore. Like,
his family took me to fucking Florida when I was like 15, 16 years old.
I did. Go on like dates with his mom.
Yeah, honestly, I would go to the movies with his mother, and we wouldn't even bring Bobby. It would literally just bring on his.
I mean, to be fair, his mom was hot, so I get it, Mandy.
Aw, sweet too. She was the fucking sweetest, but is the sweetest. But yeah, no, but like when he called me and told me like his dad died, I'm like, when are the services? Obviously that was a follow up question to that. When can I pay my respects? Because he was a man that meant a lot to me, and he was like, my dad loved you. Like, of course I had to tell you. Like, he would have wanted you to be there.
Yeah, that's the weird thing about funerals. If you're one of the people, the main
squeezes.
It's the weird people. Yeah, I was gonna make it sound like I'm in the play or something. Like, if you're one of the people in the main cast, I'm like.
Well, that was like when you said the one night. Yeah. The one day you were talking about the Michael Jackson movie, and you were like the not the main character. Like, you were like, oh, this kid that got raped, but like not as dramatic and bad as.
He wasn't as famous.
Story. Yeah. It was not the.
I saw that.
You're like, why am I talking about him? Like, he's a fucking star.
I saw the Michael Jackson documentary, and there was this one dude that's like, yeah, he's kind of in it, but like, I want to focus on like the main character. Like he's like more of like a side Michael Jackson molested him character. I want to focus on the main molested him character. Like.
There's like some extraneous story there.
He was more like an understudy. Like, let's be real.
No. Yeah, no, but there are, exactly, because then there are the people that come around that are like, oh yeah, you're like fucking, like, because I know my dad's a fucking wild, crazy person. When, knock on wood, when people are gonna be like, oh, he was a saint, it's like, no, he wasn't. He was a fucking son of a bitch. Like, don't fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's call a spade.
My favorite thing is no one messed around about my dad. They were like, no, he was a fun guy. And no one's like, oh, he gave to charity every year. He was
always in church.
A good man to the community. I'm like, no, you met him at a karaoke bar after he sang 2 Jimmy Buffett songs, and you guys probably had like 50 margaritas together and had
the time of your fucking life.
No, I knew what my dad was. Like, it was, if anyone came in with that bullshit of like, your father was a pillar to the community, I'm like,
who's that? Like,
he was a plumber who loved Yankees and he liked to fuck. That was it. I like, no. My dad was a fun guy. No, I know that. That's my favorite thing was there was two different types of people that would come up to me during the funeral, and they would but they would all have the same sentence. Okay. So they would all say the same thing, which was, yeah, I knew your dad back in the day. He was, we partied together. He was a fun guy. And if it was a guy that said that used to mean they probably did drugs together. Yeah. And if it was a girl that said that probably means she probably fucked him.
Yeah, your dad was wild. Your dad was wild.
They were all wearing 80s hair, and they all had leopard print dresses at a funeral. I'm like, yeah, I knew the difference. Dad, always cool.
Yeah, we'll have to, I know he's fucking up there with all the homies.
It's my dad and Tupac hanging out together.
No, because that's how I, like, when I think of all my people that have passed on, like, they're fucking playing cards and they're doing whatever their shit was, like.
Yeah, when people were like, oh, your dad's probably up there having. I'm like, I'm always trying to picture like what it is, and I'm like,
is it a titty bar? Like that's what my dad would want.
Like, if I'm thinking about my dad, I'm like, he's at a strip club if they have that up there.
That's what my dad's going.
Oh, he's at a strip club if they have that up there.
The heavenly titty bar. That's where my dad's going.
He's trying to throw some dick around at some random dead actress who's up there with him.
He's spitting game and
he's trying to throw some at Marilyn Monroe, whoever it is. If he's at a bar stool next to them or something. Saying like, hey, what you up? He's like, hey, you come here often? What are you up to? Do you want to do like a duet together on karaoke? That was my dad's move. He was like, hey.
That is
a good move.
That is a good move, and that is a big compliment.
My dad was a karaoke buddy. My
mom loves karaoke. It's a passion.
He loved it. So that was his move at every karaoke bar. He was always a regular.
Okay.
And he'd always come up to a girl. This is how he met my mom. He came up to her at karaoke. She's a karaoke fly too. And he just went up to her and be like, hey, I have this duet to this Temptation song. Do you want to like help me with it for a little bit? Hey, there's this Billy Ocean song. If you could help me out for a while.
I would love having a female vocalist.
You seem cool and fun. Do you might be a good backup. Could you help me out? And I'm like, that was my dad's move for 40 years at every karaoke bar.
I gotta say, it's a good move. It's a compliment because you're complimenting their skills. You're like, let's.
No, it worked.
Yeah, no, because we were at karaoke. Well, it was a family function, a family reunion. They actually had karaoke at, and one girl came up to me and she was like, you want to sing with me? And I was like, no, but my sister down the hill has a great singing voice and would love to sing with you. And my sister, who does love to sing and is an actress when we'll get up on stage and stuff, she's like, oh my God, me? I would love to do a performance. And she was like, this girl grabbed me out of nowhere and wanted to sing with me. I was like, that's so nice. That's so nice.
And my favorite thing is Esther just put funerals are when mistresses are discovered. I'm like, Esther, they were no mistresses to my mom. They were fun ladies from back in the day. They came up to my mom.
What she was responding to is Nancy Weems said, my brother-in-law was married 7 times and had 3 wives at his funeral and 1 girlfriend.
All right, that's a pretty good number. Almost half of them showed up for him.
Honestly, that dude was killing it.
Nope, he was an open book. LOL. She says, yeah. You gotta be. If you have 7, if you got 7 wives,
if you got gained like 7 fucking wives, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, that means I don't even know how many people you've slept with. If you've planned 7 fucking parties, that means your numbers are out of the fucking this sky.
Every girl that came up to me after the funeral that knew my dad, they all were like, oh yeah, he was a great guy. We met at Phil Collins concert in '83. It was the same type of woman. They were all either named Dawn or Pam. Something 80s, but it was fun.
It's funny. You really don't. I don't know if I've ever met like a Dawn our age.
A Dawn? Yeah.
You're right. Like that was like there's like fad names. It's like you.
I know. There's no like little girls named Mary.
Weird, how like there's like now it's like strange names. All of a sudden they'll be like 6 fucking like. I don't even know.
Oh, they name the kids the stupidest shit nowadays.
Yeah, weird stuff, and it's like
all my friends.
There's 3 of them in a class, and it's like this isn't like it's no longer like there's 3 Matts. Like
in 30 years, they're gonna be like, oh, yeah, there was this Gavin at my funeral, and they're like, oh, that's such an old timey name. That's such a 2020 name.
Yeah, I know.
There was this dude. He was such an Austin.
I know. Tyler's gonna be like a dead name. Like it's like all those kind of names. Yeah, no, it's it's weird. No, I know. Well, I mean, my name's Mandy, but Amanda, it was Amanda S, Amanda L, Amanda J, Amanda.
In 30 years,
G.
Caleb is gonna be such a. Oh, that's such a 2020s name. What an old guy.
Meanwhile, what's that name in the Bible?
Yeah, in a few years, there's going to be a dude like, oh, my name is X350000.
What's that? The Amazon guy's fucking kid.
Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk. He named his kid a weird
it's like means like Trevor or something.
No, his name is Kyle.
Kyle, yeah, something stupid.
But it's really like XY. I don't know. Somebody write it.
It's literally like a Latin symbol.
My son's name is Alpha 0334. X225.
But we call him Bell.
My son's name is spelled in binary, but like
that kid is gonna be so angry at Elon Musk in like 10
years.
Come
on.
But None of us. Darren was telling us that so this dude and like a few other rich people have already bought a mansion that they're going to separately school all of their really fucking rich, smart kids together in.
Okay,
what is this, like fucking
super race. Soldiers?
Okay, Hitler.
No, it sounds like, what is
I feel like this is how Hunger Games starts. This is the Hunger Games
seriously.
world.
This is why I'm not having a kid. I don't want to put him against Elon Musk's fucking kid. That fucking dictator.
First of all, my kid would fuck Elon Musk's kids up. I don't even have a kid.
Yeah, honestly, my kid actually would fuck Elon Musk's kid up.
That's why I'm worried about it. That's why I wouldn't have a kid, because my kid would be violent.
That's why Glenn and I will not have a biological child, because it would be unreasonable. It would be all the worst combination of Glenn and I.
I would think it was like the best thing in the world.
It would think it was God's gift to fucking Earth, and it would be unreasonable.
Yeah.
And it would probably have some like fucked up fucking philosophy.
Yeah, especially because because I would be already talking to it.
It'd be like Thanos. Like Thanos is a good example of it. Like,
yeah, like very good, very like 100, and like there's good and there's bad. Like there's no gray in this world. There's right and wrong, son.
Yeah, if I have a kid, I'm just gonna all right, I'm gonna teach you jujitsu, and I'm gonna also bring you to boxing, and you're gonna fuck up Elon Musk's kid.
Yeah, we gotta practice. Yeah, we need to practice, because there's these other kids out in LA that are fucking practicing with their minds, which we know we don't have. We don't have them in the head.
Those kids are gonna be geniuses, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna come in and you're gonna alpha them, and you're gonna
hit them where it hurts.
I always said that if I was gonna have a kid, I would want to move to like the worst ghetto and have them be like.
You've never said this to me.
Yeah, no, pressure makes diamonds. Pressure makes diamonds. I swear to God.
Here we go. Here's this past Mandy. I don't know who you had this conversation with.
We definitely had this conversation because we were watching that documentary.
This is why I love G, because I've had the same thinking where I'm like, if I have a kid,
we're going to the worst part of the fucking nation.
Even if I'm a millionaire, I'm gonna move him into the shittiest apartment in somewhere, and he's gonna be a murderer. He's gonna be a killer. But he's also going to be like, oh, he's got money to fall back on.
He's going to be so fucking grateful for, like, everything, though. Like,
oh, yeah. And then I'm going to tell him, like, oh, I've been rich the whole time.
Like, what school do you want to go to? And it's like, Dad, they won't let us in anywhere. And it's like, I have, like, a huge account.
Oh, I've been a millionaire this whole time. And then I'm going to.
It's like, Dad, why would I get a phone for, like, 12 years?
And then he's going to want to kill me. And then me and him are going to fight. And we're going to fight. And I'm going to see which one of us comes out on top.
Yeah, either way, we're going to create a fucking super villain.
My kid's going to be the Lex Luthor of the natural born world. This kid's going to be terrible.
Yeah, no, that's why we're not doing it. We're not doing it. I'm going to just invest in Forgotten Angels. We'll go down to Florida. We'll work with the grown kids.
You're not going to blindside it? You should blindside.
What does blindside mean?
Just blindside it. Get a giant black kid, have him go to the
Sandra
NFL.
Bullock movie, The Blind Side.
Have him go to the NFL, just crush it.
You kind of always said if it's going to be someone, it's going to, not going to be a baby. It's going to probably be just like some random fucking kid.
If I'm adopting a kid, I'm adopting a ginormous black teenager.
Yeah, someone that I'm going to be like, all right, fuck, like
you openly know
don't
that
bring the cops here. Like that's pretty much like
the only rule. It's the only rule.
I will deal with them. It's okay, but like, please don't bring the cops.
Don't bring the cops to us, and we won't call the cops on you, and this will just be cool, okay? Yeah. You'll have a door that can lock.
Yeah.
I'll tell you when dinner's ready.
Nah, I'm gonna get a ginormous black kid, and he's gonna be a UFC champion. I'm just gonna teach him At 15, I'm gonna get him going. I'm like, oh, this kid's gonna be
the whole
thing.
They're gonna be training automatic.
But with like fighting sports and stuff, I feel like a lot of people burn out. Like some of the best wrestlers I ever saw on my team burned out because they were literally like 4 years old. Their dad was like, I'm going to have a wrestling fucking champion.
Well, that's why he's saying you were going to blindside it. You pick them when they're like 17.
Yeah, and they're looking for something.
When they're scouting.
And you're like, look at
colleges.
The jeans on that one. He's got like fucking like strap muscles. Like.
When they're scouting colleges and you don't know how to fill out a fucking FAFSA.
I'm surprised in college scouts, they don't have a family where they do that. They're like, oh, like, I could scout this kid for a scholarship to Alabama University.
Athlete. Like, when you go to the adoption fucking agency.
Like, all right, you could scout someone else's kid for it to be a college athlete, or you can go to the worst place on earth, adopt the kid, bring him to the college for us.
Just a little training, a little more paperwork.
I think if any colleges see this, they're just gonna be like, "Oh my god, we just got the best idea."
I think there was a South Park
this kid fertilized the game.
Because Carmen goes and asks the NCAA coach like I'm looking for some slaves.
Well, that's the whole thing because they
Carmen has
because they can't get they're not allowed to get
That's like one of my favorite episodes of South Park because he just goes, I was like, whoa, we don't have any slaves at our college. We have students. Like, oh, yes, right, of course, we don't have any slaves. Sorry, how do you get your students? Good thinking.
Yeah, no, Carmen's like dressed like the fucking KFC guy. Yeah. It's the what's the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio? That's who he is.
A bunch of movies.
Every movie, but the one with the slaves particularly.
Did Django Unchained?
Yeah, right. Isn't that?
Yeah.
Is that who he's being?
They all blend together, and I don't want to seem like racist.
By the way,
it's not racist if it's Leonardo DiCaprio all blending into himself.
No, I'm saying like all like a lot of like slavery movies like stuff.
Well, that's how I feel about like every rom-com too. Like I don't like what was like.
It's everything, but like
honestly, I was talking about how you don't even know the fucking name of anything anymore. Like it's like girlfriend, Joker's girlfriend movie, and they're like, all right, 2 for Birds of Prey right here. Like you don't even need to know what the fuck you're consuming.
Now you have Google, so you could get like. I had like the worst, like it wasn't even the lyrics of the song today, and I typed it in lyrics and the fucking band name, and like it gave me the right song. Like I was shocked, like, and it was like, did you mean this? And I was like,
wow,
yeah,
thank you. No, they are super intuitive. It's weird with that little amount of information sometimes that you can get with a search, like. What's that one thing? And you fucking have like 2-4 words.
That's where I'm like, is Google fucking know me? Like, are we friends? What is happening?
Oh, it definitely it does. It knows it knows you for sure.
I did a thing for a while where I had an Instagram account where I only followed the sponsored, whatever is sponsored to me. I followed that, and it got fucking weird, dude. Like it really I started getting like really weird shit because like I guess it would be like the lesser like. Oh, this guy likes all of our sponsors, so like here's like some like tranny selling fucking some kind of spray
I was
deodorant like just like random shit like
he'll support anything. Let's sneak in the low grade fucking garbage.
It's weird how like Google sells your information to like advertisers everywhere. So like this one comic Ari Shaffir, he would like videos that would come up online that he would usually like Joe Rogan talking to this famous scientist on this podcast or whatever. That would be up in his YouTube YouTube recommendations immediately, and then he'd get recommended stuff like commercial for Alpha Brain or this vitamin company that Joe Rogan owns or whatever. And he's like, I wonder what happened if I just Googled only videos of cute puppies for like 2 weeks. And he started just watching videos of cute puppies for 2 weeks. And then literally half a week in, after Googling cute puppies, it's just him getting video recommendations and then advertisements for every pet food, this and that, every video or every commercial for a company that has a cute dog in it. And you're like, oh, wow, they really are paying attention to us. Goddamn.
It's so true.
Internet's awesome.
No,
awesome and terrible.
It totally is. I mean, I started getting coupons again for the pet food when I fucking went to the supermarket and I got the dog pet food.
Well, it's based
dog
off
food
your credit card,
on my credit card.
Your credit card
and I'm like, they're like, oh, you have a dog again. Like, you want some dog treat fucking coupons? Like, I'm like, oh, they know I got a dog in the house. Like,
oh yeah, Google. Google really just. It's weird seeing the stuff that gets recommended to you because you're like, wow, I can really be broken down with just the things that come up in my recommendations from Google.
Like hoodies with just skulls on them is like basically they know I like anything with skulls. Well, they're like, come on, don't you want this skull shirt? Don't you want this skull necklace?
Here's the three reoccurring general things that come up in my Google like news articles that come up in my thing. It's either one, I'm an MMA fan, so it's either UFC related, and I'm also a bit of I'm a gossipy bitch.
Oh, all right, so it's like celebrity like dirt.
Gossip. Oh yeah, I will tell people I am a gossipy bitch.
I don't get anything like that. I don't get anything like that on my feed.
Well, that's what I get in my feed. And
I'm gonna have to start looking on your feed and going into it.
And then third is like Yankee stats, and that's it. Like it's just like this.
Well, that's pretty light. That's good though. But I mean, some people it's just like all political stuff or all angry stuff. I got a lot of people doing a lot of positive stuff. All my people are either promoting positivity or doing positive shit. Like
I feel like Google's a little bit more like sometimes like rude about it. Like Instagram's like at least like all right, I could kind of start to see where this is coming from.
Yeah, they're like
sometimes it's like what did I like why does it like every dude needs ED medication? You can tell because I looked at like a porno once like that like I
no, I don't have erectile dysfunction. Thank you very much. I don't need porn to get hard. I just want to use porn to get hard. Thank you very much.
It's like they genderized us by like the porno.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I don't get no ED fucking.
That's the weird thing with porn sites. The porn sites are always recommending like ED stuff for you. I'm like, what are you trying to tell me? What are you doing here, Pornhub? Like what? Like I'm hard right now. I'm on here this website for a reason. I'm completely hard. No one's like, oh, I'm coming to this porn site because I'm completely flaccid. No,
I have no libido. That's why I'm on this porn site.
No, they have a long day.
The grow your dick 2 inches makes sense on the porn site though. Like,
okay.
Because you're looking at a guy with like abnormally
you might impulse buy some.
And you're looking at it and you're like,
you're at a low point. Your dick's in your hand.
To make this more realistic, I'm just trying to match him. So.
Yeah.
I'm imagining I'm that guy in the porno. I might as well match it.
Oh my god. Yeah. We're almost at time, guys.
Oh, we didn't even for the New Year's. I have the bottle of champagne.
Oh, we're gonna pop it?
Yeah.
You guys
Devin, this is the last episode of the Calamity Jones Hour for this season.
When you guys told me that, I was so happy that I'm like, whoa, I can't believe you guys brought me in as your last guest for the year.
And it was really cool because I thought it was going to be just me and you, and then Glenn was like, oh, I'm going to be home on time from work. I got the day shift. I was like, oh, and it's Devin. He's like, oh, hell fucking yeah.
I was like, I get some fucking Glen time with me. Fuck yeah.
Even if I like the people, sometimes I'm not necessarily in the mood to come on, but
he can help himself.
This week I was like,
and it wouldn't have been the same without you, Glenn. I mean, I wouldn't be, talking to a snowman. I wouldn't be talking to a snowman right now.
All right,
I wouldn't be talking to a snowman, Mike.
Oh, wait, Bonnie Scalisi. Love you. I see you in the stream.
We love you, Bonnie.
She's one of my favorite people.
Oh, well, we're going to have Bonnie. Devin on as a wildflower. We're going to get you as a wildflower.
I like your guys' show too, so if I would love to do the show with you and Bonnie.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing with like having the Wednesday night and the Friday night. Glenn and me versus Bonnie and I are completely different conversation. And, Bonnie and I are so silly. Glenn and I get silly too, but it's like it's total. Cheers.
Woo, woo.
So it's a totally different experience. Nancy Weems, thank you guys. Joan Krupe Asher is always supporting the shows that we put on, resharing, liking.
I think when we were talking about teachers having like a thing for students, she was talking about a guy she liked who ended up, I guess, hooking up with a teacher. I'm not sure.
I know, Bonnie, I saw something, but Bonnie was jealous.
Bonnie, if that's the case, say yes. But I don't know if that was the case.
I think Bonnie wished she was. I think Bonnie wishes she was it. Oh, Marcos is saying cheers, cheers, Marcos.
Oh, and then I was like, oh, a girl I liked hooked up with a teacher too. Oh, that sucks, Zach.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Bonnie, two peas in a pod. I love you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Safe, healthy New Year. From our home to yours. Seriously, Devin, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, this is such a small tribute, but I think we got to dedicate this episode to your dad.
Amen.
Up in heaven.
Joseph Giannini Sr.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and he didn't even. So Johnny is the best brother, so he didn't even get named after the junior. Didn't even get after, or is there? Well, no, he's senior, but there's no junior.
My oldest brother, he's a junior.
Okay.
But my dad went as Joey G, and then my brother as
Johnny. Okay.
Stylize it a little.
No, my brother went as Joey too. I have a Joey G, and there's two Joey Gs. So my dad, and then my first brother, he's a Joey G.
Oh, okay. So I was making up that your brother's name is Johnny.
Oh, no. I got a brother, Jonathan. He's the second.
Okay.
And then my brother, James. He's the third. And then for some reason, my parents, Joseph and Jeanette, decided to go with a D name for the last kid.
Just so you felt completely left out.
Just to fuck me. They're just trying to fuck me with this
just
last
for another reason for everyone to say you're different.
They're like, let's black sheep this kid immediately. Give him a D name. Give him a
different set of initials. Let's just start him off.
We had a whole rhyming scheme going on. Why don't we fuck that up with this kid?
He'll be an individual. No, but really, people like you kept me in the comedy game.
We had fun. Like,
we had so much fun.
It's what drew us in was like
immediately,
like it was like a club. Like I didn't really ever go on stage or anything. But
you guys are friends.
I was almost like we were saying before, like how like I was like audience that everyone's like, oh, it's not a comedy.
Oh, I would show up without Glen, and they'd be like, "Where's Glen?" I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just here to tell jokes." They'd be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Me and fucking everybody else, we love G. We would be like, "Oh, G's not here," and then we'd be like, "Oh, it's just you." I'm like, "Oh, all right, whatever."
Well, and we all cracked up the one night because I came in. I told Glen I'm leaving for a podcast. I'm leaving for an open mic, and then I totally like silenced my phone when I walked in. I didn't tell him I got there safe, and you were like on your way home from work, and you busted in the room, and everyone was like, "Whoa, you thought you were gonna like see Mandy like on the table with somebody like you?" But you like walked in the room like, "What the fuck?" Like you just I'm like scared as fuck.
Really, we trying to get to my location to make sure that
triangulate where the fuck you are.
Then I could follow your path home because I know how you would have driven there.
My favorite thing is we treated G like Norm from Cheers. We're like, G, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, she's alive. You're a dumbass." And I'm like, "My phone is silenced. I'm trying to be a good comedian. I'm so sorry."
So the reason is because when I started, I think this is the right way to do it when you're a comic. When you start, don't be a dick to people when they're starting because it's so unnecessary.
And it's hard enough.
It's hard enough to do comedy in a small scene the one that we have.
You don't need people to be dicks on top of it.
There is no reason to be a dick. So that's why I was like, whenever there was a new person, I'm like, be nice to them right away. Just be like, hey,
welcome.
There's not assholes in this.
Yeah.
We're not all terrible people.
And honestly, I remember like being like, "Oh, I really like comedy. I want to do some bringers." And like Evan being like, "Oh, I have like every weekend." And me being like, "Oh, I'll do like the next every weekend from here on out." And you and Zach being like, "Mandy, I know you love comedy, and I know you have a big family."
And stuff.
That's a big undertaking.
That's gonna die off quickly.
As soon as Evan walked away, we were like, "Hey man, why don't you come around real quick? Yeah, you don't have to do like every weekend. Like, let's just do like maybe do a couple,
one or two,
chill out a little bit after that.
Make sure your family still loves you, and then have them come see you again.
Don't use them up right away. They're gonna get mad.
Gas
the
them
people
out.
that love you ultimately like hate that they can't come to all of the shit that you do is what it really is. It's like we know that like we get like our certain people that we get like you could get them a couple times. Like,
yeah, and then there's so many people that are like every time I'm doing something they have like a wedding or something, and it's like legitimate excuses. I'm like, I don't even need excuses. I know that you like in your heart are like at every show. Like I know you're rooting for me like in your dreams. Like
yeah, we have opposite experiences. You had your family come to you like right away. I had my dad bring me the first few times I ever did comedy, and then no one else. My mom waited until like 2 years into me doing comedy where I was like, okay, I'll let you see a show. I let none of my family see.
Well, it's embarrassing. I didn't let anyone at work know that I was doing comedy for a really long time. That's a more recent thing.
That's what I should have done. I let the work people see me right away. That was the opposite.
Yeah. But I really do thank comedy for, like I said, for bringing me into our path. Because you're just such a nice person, really, legitimately, a great friend.
There's no reason not to be a dick in this business. I'll always go to that to anyone in the entertainment industry. There was no reason not to be a dick in this industry when you don't have to be.
Right.
It's completely unnecessary, and it's so fucked up because one, you scare away people. There's people who I guarantee are talented, and you scared them away from being a dick right off the bat when they started.
Right.
Then I also feel it's like a lot of comedy's building each other up. You don't know who's going to be the next like thing that's doing something, or they're going to be producing a show that you want to be on, and it's like
right.
You know,
because
like,
some people come out the gate and then they have like family and they're like, yeah, we got a hole and we're gonna do this, and like you don't want to be a dick to that person. Like
yeah, there's stories of like guys who there's famous comedians who are like, oh, there was this guy who was a dick to me when I started, and then I had my own TV show.
And he's groveling.
And then he auditioned for it, and the producers were considering him, and I'm like, if you guys get this guy, I'm walking away from the show.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, then we're getting rid of him. We're just going to keep you. You're the star.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's the ultimate revenge to people who are terrible to you. Get super successful and then ruin their lives.
Right. Just
guys,
wait for
take
them.
that away from this.
Yeah.
Ruin people's lives.
No, just wait till they are asking for you.
And they need you. It's awesome. Anyway, I'm not at that place yet, but soon.
No, but if you keep elevating yourself and not being a competitive dick and realizing there's enough room for everybody at the finish line, which is all this shit, collaborating. You're like talking about having a podcast. I'm not like, he can't have a podcast and no one will watch my podcast.
Bring your laptop.
I'm like, get your laptop and
that goes to anybody. I don't care
if you want to start a podcast, I will show you everything I fucking know, and I don't know much, but I'll show you every goddamn thing I fucking know.
Bonnie Scalisi, what if they attack you first? Well then, Bonnie, if they attack you first, take their hearts. Take their fucking hearts.
Bonnie, kill them with kindness,
and they kill them with kindness.
Bonnie and I just keep smiling and laughing.
Yeah, kindness and arsenic. If you buy some at a store, they sell it to you. They don't mind.
No, but I've watched a lot of those How to Murder Your Husband shows. And arsenic.
Sometimes the wife too.
No, whenever we go to your in-laws, you put on like the How to like.
Our in-laws.
I feel like every
on cable at 3:00 in the morning. What's the only shows that is on?
It's
fucking
Murder Your Spouses.
Murder Your Spouse.
And it's always
get caught because it's your spouse. Because you'll always get caught if you fucking know the person.
Yeah, because you're an abusive asshole, and then you just ended up murdering the person.
Every girl I date watches those ID channel shows, and I'm like, why? I was like, I can't date you anymore because I feel like you're planning something now.
You want me to choke you or something?
If they start suggesting weird shit in the bedroom after watching the show, like, hey, do you want me to like poison you during sex? Like what? I don't know if you're into that. But,
I'm just gonna take a shot of lighter fluid before we start.
Hey, do you want me to inject you with this syringe of random things? Hey, I don't know if you're into that. If you're yay, nay, I don't know.
Oh my God, this took a turn. We went from dedicating this to your dad who passed away to murdering people in a matter of 6 minutes. I think.
He probably murdered some people.
He's laughing. You know what? Like you said, everyone that talked about your dad said that he was a good fucking time and he made them laugh. And bringing fucking light to the room. If you could do nothing else and you could bring light to a room, you fucking got it going on.
If anyone wants to know why I went to stand-up comedy, it's because my dad was the funnest guy in the room, and watching him work a room was funner than anything else.
There you go.
That's the if I had to say a main reason why I did comedy, watching my dad work a fucking room.
Even when he was dead, he was working the room.
He called himself Joey G in the house. My dad was Joey G in the house, and watching him work a room, I'm like, I want to do what dad does to a room everywhere. That is the main guy I ever did it.
But it's also funny that like most of our open mic spaces and like a lot of places you do comedy in are actually karaoke bars.
Well, yeah, where we did the Lizard Lounge, we put a show on for Glen's birthday, the non-comic, and you performed and I performed at the Lizard Lounge, which is like a really nice karaoke place. Literally, for those of you that don't know.
Literally, the place I hosted a karaoke mic at was a place my dad and my mom would do karaoke religiously together when they started dating.
Oh my god, that's so funny!
And I ended up just having to do a comedy with my dad.
And you just like go. Isn't that so funny how small the world is?
Like, it was it all comes around a
full
weird
circle.
Way. Yeah.
Full circle. That's called a callback in comedy, folks. This has been your comedy hour.
Yeah, our comedy hour in 10 minutes.
It's always more than an hour because it's calamitous. Devin, we love you so much, guys.
We could have gone
love you.
Oh
love
my
G.
God.
I didn't even look at the time until like 45 minutes.
We're just gonna turn off the cameras, and this party's gonna keep going. So we could bring the dog in and Shawnee into the party because Shawnee's tiptoeing around trying to be quiet.
If any of you is wondering why I waved very low before, it's because the dog walked around. I was like, oh, cute dog.
Yeah, that's so yeah, guys, this was the Calamity Jones Hour, episode 19. Happy 2020. It's been rough on
2021.
Happy 2020. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
2021, guys. 2020 was
Feliz Navidad.
Tried and true. It's really hard for everybody.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, the season's not over, but cheers. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
To my Puerto Rican side of the family, Feliz Navidad. To my fucking friendly Jews out there, Happy Hanukkah. All right.
Amen, guys. We love you.
Happy New Year.
Woo! Happy New Year.
How do I end it?
You're way down.
I know. On the way down.
You're still up here.
No, I got it.
This is great because I had to piss for like a fucking 30 minutes.
You're still alive.
I can't do it.
You suck.
Oh shit. Hey guys, congratulations. You found out that I had to piss for 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is 2020, guys.
You figured out Mandy can't use a mouse.
And
in 2021,
Glen ran away with my mic.
Maybe
all right, guys, we love you. That's it.
Cheers.
That's the show.
Love you
That's
guys.
the show.
To peeing.
I'm gonna go piss. Thank you.